All right, guys. Week 16 is here. We had week 15 in the books. That's over and done with. I'll put our records against the spread right here, as I usually do. Week 15 was kind of a kind of man, so many injuries. Like it was kind of crazy. You don't want to see them, even if you're against. Like I'm the biggest Chiefs fan, obviously, because I'm an Eagles fan.
Chiefs
But
hater.
yeah, Chiefs
You
hater.
said
Yeah,
Chiefs.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I say? Yeah, Chiefs hater.
You said
Sorry.
Chiefs
Yeah.
fan. Just want to make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely. I'm a Chiefs hater, but like I don't want to see those injuries happen to all those to Patrick Mahomes and the Packers. Betting we'll get to the Packers loss, but bad loss because in so many ways. And me and you both had the Packers on that one, but that was Week 15, guys. Brutal. There's still a lot of some playoff questions have been answered. We kind of see like what seeds, what teams, what playoff seeds they're gonna get. What teams have been eliminated, like the not the Bears, but the Kansas City Chiefs have been eliminated. The Cowboys are one game for being eliminated. So the C is look like it's going to open, and we're going to know what the playoff seeding is going to look like. Yeah, man, let's just get to it. Let's just jump into week 16, our picks. A lot of great games on this one. A lot of games, a lot of tight games. I feel like there's not a lot of big spreads in this week. So let's get after it on our Thursday night picks. But before that, guys, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way for this small channel. And we're trying to get to 100 subscribers, hopefully before the Super Bowl. So with that, let's get to it. This game might be the game of the week, right on Thursday. That's cool. You like to see those great games of the week on Thursday because there've been so much trash games on prime time on Amazon. So good to see one, a real divisional game. Teams fight for first place in their division, also first place in the playoff seeding. We have the Rams versus the Seahawks, with the Seahawks being favored by 1.5 points and the over under 42.5. Rams are coming off a win against Detroit Lions. I think the Lions. It looks like it was close, but in my opinion, they kind of had the Lions. That was like a. What do you think was a blowout loss? I can't really put my finger on that.
Blowout's a big word. I would say a definitive win by them.
Yeah,
They were in control.
yeah, and I predicted one of my best bets that to go over the over, and it went over by a mile as the Rams put up 40 on the Lions, but they blow out they put a bunch of points on the Lions, and I believe me and Adam both had the Rams in that one. But let's get to what the bigger point here is. Excuse me, is that no Devontae Adams. Adams re-injured that hamstring trying to catch that ball. You guys saw he was limping on his way over there. And that's a big loss because he leads the league in wide receivers and touchdowns, receiving touchdowns. So that's a big loss. He's Matthew Stafford's go-to guy in the red zone. So he's not, out for the whole year. Obviously, he's week to week, but he's definitely doubtful for this game, and he's not playing. I'm not worried about that. What I'm more worried about, in particular with the Rams, is their defense, because they only sacked Goff once. That's it. They only sacked Goff once, and they only have 9 sacks in 7 games. That means they're barely getting a sack a game almost. Let's say 1.5, if that. Okay, so there's that. And if you take a look at a little deep dive into their sacks, they only had one game. So they have a total of like 31 sacks. 7 of those 31 sacks came in one game against the Jaguars. So, they are not good enough the quarterback, it's particularly in the second half in the NFL. Kobe Turner, Verse, and I forget the other guy, they were rolling and then they just hit a brick wall. And if you can't get after the quarterback, especially for a person like Sam Darnold, who doesn't like being rattled, like Goff, they can put up some points against this secondary that the Rams has been a little shaky. As we said, the guy who they traded for, the Titans, he's been on the IR, and they traded for him to get more secondary help. So what I'm saying is their secondary, they can't get home. They can't get home to sack the quarterback, and we all know that. I just say I'm not worried about the offense, Adam, because Sean McVay will develop something. He will come up with something smart and great to get this offense run. They still got Puka Nacua. They still got a good running back duo and Williams and Corum, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's what I'm worried about with the Rams. Is like, can their defense actually? I'm sorry, I'm tapping this pen. Can the defense hold up, and can they get to Sam Darnold? Because Seattle Seahawks have only Sam Darnold's only been sacked 18 times, give or take. So he doesn't get hurt that much. Do you see any concern there? Or do you think it's not that bad?
I don't know. Devontae Adams is a great wide receiver. Like you said, good in the red zone. He's that reliable guy. I mean, they still have Puka Nakua. But I think the key is their run game. They were running all over the Lions.
Yeah, they
Kyron
were.
Williams and Blake Horn both look great. So I think they'll keep the offense going. But I agree. The defense needs to get home. Because if you give Darnold time, they can push the ball like no team and hit those mid to downfield shots all day.
Yeah, you're correct about that. I don't know what it is, but in the last few weeks, Blake Corum has become a good part of their team, and that's good. During that Detroit game, they were running through a lot of three tight end sets, so expect that this game as usual. Probably Puka Nakua as the one wide receiver, three tight ends. So you gotta wonder, are they gonna give it to Williams, Corum, or are they gonna go over the top of Puka Nakua or down the middle to Puka Nakua? So that is a good game plan, and I'm sure McVay's gonna scheme some good stuff. So great points there. The Seahawks, I mean, I think they scored 6 field goals to beat the Colts. Now that is embarrassing, folks. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts, Philip Rivers in particular, was coming off from like a 4 or 5 year hiatus, 5 years, and he comes into town, doesn't look half bad. He didn't look great because some people are like a little praising him a little too much. He did enough to like move the ball down the field. He did enough to like keep them in the game. I think it says more about the Seattle Seahawks, not their offense, not picking it up against the Colts defense. And the Colts defense is not so great. I think it says more to Sam Darnold, who, like, if you look at his numbers, you like, oh, hey, they're not bad, but they're, I don't know. There is, when you look at it, and I listen to other NFL analysts, people who actually study the game, and they're saying like, the numbers are not telling the true story. Like, he is not that accurate. We see how he's throwing the ball, the footwork, and he is off. So, but if you can't, when you're telling me you beat the Colts, but you need a game-winning field goal to beat them with a quarterback that's haven't been in the league for 5 years, and you couldn't put him away, that worries me. And as we've been preaching to the choir here, the Seahawks, it's JSN and nobody else. Okay. Walker and Charbonnet, they really haven't stepped up in the last couple of weeks as running backs. And also, I like they're using Rashid Shaheed a little bit more. No, don't get me wrong. JSN has been like, yeah, they've just been using it, but they've still been killing it with them. Okay, I understand that. The guy's a monster. He's like one of the best, if not the best, route runner in this league. But what I'm saying is it's a bit concerning that they couldn't put away a Colts team that is like so desperate. They got an old quarterback, and this is supposed to be a team that's it's supposed to be top tier of the NFL. I don't know, man. Anything you see from the Seahawks I think these concerns are legitimate.
Yeah, I think they are. I'm definitely hitting the panic button. They're still up there on a lot of people's like top 2 to 3 of the power rankings, but some things are happening. I think Sam Darnold needs to go see like a sports psychologist or something. I think he sees the playoffs coming and is just starting to crumble. Like, they have not looked like that same loosey-goosey, aggressive team from a couple weeks ago.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
And he did this last year with Minnesota.
Yeah.
He folded like a house of cards. As soon as he got the playoffs, it was like, bye-bye. And I think, and everybody kind of knew it was like, and that's his MO. It's like, great record, just everything. But everybody knows, like, as soon as you get in playoff mode, or it's that time of the year, he starts like shaking like a leaf. And I don't get it. Maybe he's worried that he's going to fall back to that. So, that's what I'm worried about. Look, in this game, Weatherspoon is also out for the Rams. I want to point that out. So one of their better defenders is out for the game. I also want to point out that is very concerning is that their Sam Darnold's left tackle is out for the game, Cross. So he's out for the game. there's injuries on the Rams defense, man. This is a tough one. Basically a pick 'em game. It's a 50-50 game. I'll let you take this one, man. Who do you think? Who do you like in this game? It's gonna be a tough one.
I got the Rams. The left tackle being out is an issue for me for the Seahawks. And their run game just hasn't been as dominant or as good as I think it should be. Something's just missing there. Both of those running backs are great, but something's just not clicking. And the Seahawks are on the wrong trajectory right now. So I'm going with the Rams. They've been very consistent all year.
Yeah. I do like the Seattle's special teams too more than them. I do like Myers a lot, and that can mean a lot in a pick'em game. I mean, I'm like so iffy on this game. I do like Colby Parkinson to go over his receptions over. I think it's 3.5 or 4.5. I still think you get 3.5. I would take that. But I lean towards the Rams just because I think McVay can coach something up and they can win this game by a field goal or much. I'm not liking the left tackles out for them. I don't like, but the secondary is a problem for the Rams. But I think Sam Darnold, to trust them to, I don't know. I just think I'm not trusting. I trust Matthew Stafford more than I trust Sam Darnold. Now, it does worry me that the last game that they played, that Darnold threw 4 picks against the Rams, and the Rams still only won by 2 or 3 points. When you would throw that many turnovers, the interceptions, you should win that game by a mile. So that does mean means they could keep in the game. But it goes to show you that he did get rattled in that game. He threw 4 picks. So if the Rams get to do that again, and I believe they can win this game by they could cover the number. So give us the Rams to cover in this game, which I think is going to be an awesome game. Now let's start by my Eagles versus the Commanders. Philadelphia be only favored by 5.5, which I'm surprised. Well, maybe not surprised. I think people are a little hype up because we beat the crappy Raiders, and the over/under is 44.5. Now look, the Eagles are coming off a win against the crap show that is the Las Vegas Raiders, probably the worst team in the NFL by far. Now, what you're supposed to do to this team is you're supposed to blow them out. So I was glad that they won that 31-0, and they didn't win 17-6, or they didn't win 21-13-14. Okay, they blew them out. I believe, like I said, Kenny Pickett had like 80 total yards passing, and it was just astronomically ugly for the Raiders, like nobody's business. So that's what you're supposed to do. But I'm just saying, pump the brakes a little bit. Let's don't think like everything's fine and great, gravy train here. It was the Raiders. Okay. I see people online, some guy in particular on TikTok, he's called like Real Talk with something. And he was like, Jalen Hurts showed them he had a perfect QB rating. He had like 12 completions for 15 attempts. It's like, you played it like what? Like, don't stop it. Like let's look at this without rose crystal glasses.
Rose tinted glasses, yeah.
Something like that. They beat the Raiders. It was a great win. It was a great win to maybe change the mood in the locker room. I understand that. But let's pump the brakes a little bit and let's, it was the Raiders. Okay, folks. I like that we got to see the Barkley ran from the ball under center, not from the shotgun as usual. Over 60% of his runs were from under the center. That's a change. I think we should do that more and use the fullback that we use as our third tight end. We use him as fullback. Use that more, because an extra blocker will just be great, because the Commanders are almost dead last in rush defense. So this might be a great game to get Barkley and Tank Bigsby. Please use Tank Bigsby to get the game going, because the Commanders are dog crap when it comes to rush defense, like I said. But what I'm most prominent to see is this defense is becoming vicious. I saw a great analogy. Somebody said, I believe it was Colin Cowherd for all the stupid crap he says, but a great analogy he said is that these Eagles, even the Super Bowl Eagles, reminds me of the Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson. Like, Russell Wilson was not the most well-liked in the room. There's been reports that Jalen has, like, his personality doesn't really bowl with everybody. He's not, like, probably annoying like Russell Wilson, with all the crazy shit he does and over-religious stuff. He's just more not the type, not really passionate kind of thing to show his emotions and stuff like that. But that's a great thing. We have this great defense that will hammer you. And we have a guy who's really great at the deep ball. Like you used to said years before, Russell Wilson, he could throw a deep ball like nobody's business. and and we have all these weapons. So I think that's a good analogy. Besides that, back to the defense, Kenny Pickett was massacred back there. I told you guys the Eagles would get 4 or 5 sacks. That's exactly what they got. They got 4 or 5 sacks. Before that, they got 6 or 7 sacks on Herbert. So these are crappy offensive lines, but as I said, that's what you do when you see these offensive lines. You got to hurt them. You got to get after them. So that's great to see. I mean, I saw another statistic that Quinton Mitchell is number one, and like when quarterbacks are throwing the ball towards him, he's like the number one and like the least success rate, number one in the NFL. Like, so when you throw him, the chances of your wide receiver catching the ball, damn near not going to happen. He's top 5 in every category. So he doesn't have the interceptions. That's why he's Pro Bowl. Who gives a shit about the Pro Bowl? But he's an elite corner already, folks. Second year in, elite. He's already beating Surtain's numbers. That's why they think Derek Stingley and him are like the number 1 or 2. They should be all pro, but we'll see about that. They're doing it without Carter, moving Brandon Graham to defensive tackle and DN. He had two sacks playing defensive tackle. I'd love to see that. Best linebacker core in the league. Pitting Epps there at safety is doing dividends for us because the Sidney Brown, who should be cut, shouldn't play next year unless you keep him for special teams. He's a good special teamer. But since we put him in there, it's been great since our rookie got hurt. So that's what gives me confidence, Adam, is this defense is more, it's just vicious, and it's like an elite defense. And I think against this team that's now Jaden Daniels has been officially out. That's, and Mariota's good, very good backup, but I think that's what's going to pay dividends in this game.
Yeah, no, you covered it pretty well. Eagles are playing good. It was one of my best bets, not one of your best bets, just for clarity.
You finally came through.
The curse is broken.
The curse is broken.
But their defense is playing great, and Jalen Carter's coming back for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, for sure, he's coming back to playoffs.
Yeah.
He was ruled out this game. I say because we beat the Commanders, we win the division, and we automatically at the least get the 3rd seed. If we win, maybe get him in for a few snaps to the 18th game and Lane Johnson, but let him sit out the Bills game, let him come back for the Commanders game, let him play some. We don't need to get those guys hurt, but yes, he is coming back for sure.
Yeah, no, Eagles are looking good. It's good to see. Another bad opponent though. It's not like the Redskins or the Commanders are a huge step above the Raiders.
Yeah, they're not so chapped liver. They got a good one against the Giants. I'll give them that, but like that was like two bum fights fighting it out. 2 guys desperate, and they, you remember bum fights?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically a fight out. So briefly, Commanders come out. They broke their A-game losing streak. They beat the Giants. It was a competitive game towards the end. Mariota, he's been decent. He's like I said, he's not chop liver. One of the better backup quarterbacks in the league. 10 touchdowns or 11 touchdowns. It's only 7 turnovers, but you can see it. He still has some. He's not that inaccurate of a quarterback, and he uses his legs, so not that bad of a backup. But when it comes to them, it's still the defense is just garbage. Now, was it old? Not because of just the injuries. They were old. Everybody's falling apart. The rush defense is bottom 3 of the league, so you could run up on it all day on them. And also, Larry Tunsil is out. They're starting left tackle, so he's out this game. Also, Noah Brown, who came back for like 2 or 3 games. I think 2 games maybe. Now he's back at the IR, so that's one less weapon. Deebo Samuel has taken a step back. I don't know. He's going to be cut. I mentioned that last year. He has not been looking good. He's taken a fall. Scary Terry still got it. So know that. Bobby Wagner's probably out as well. He with a knee injury, so he's there. He may not run that fast, but he can read offenses and call it out. I also want to mention the Commanders that they haven't. They have failed to cover the spread in 7 of its 8 games versus NFC opponents. So they're not covering games. So easy one for me. I don't want to make it as easy because division games are usually because they know you better. They can play it tight. And Marcus Mariota, he can surprise you with his legs. So he might get out of it if he's about to get sacked. But I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on him. The left tackle's out. The Eagles know if they win this, they win the division. And I think they go in and they cover the 5.5 in Washington.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the Eagles defense is going to clean up again.
Yeah. I don't want to put my hopes too high because every time I do, even though this team won the Super Bowl for me, for all of us Eagles fans, gives you pain in the chest. This team sometimes because all
I
this
think it's
talent.
just this season though. A lot of teams are like that,
Yeah,
which is a good segue to the Packers. But yeah,
that's right. Exactly. It is a good segue. Yeah. Let's talk about also potential game of the week. Two good. I mean, two great games out here on Saturday. Packers versus Bears. Bears favored by 1.5. Now this line's been jumping up down a little bit, but I got it at Bears being favored by 1.5, and the over/under is 46.5 points. The Packers, watching that game against the Denver Broncos, who they lost to, you know, it was like a tale of two halves, if you will. I feel like in the first half they were dominant. Correct me if I'm wrong on all this. I know it was a tight game. It was 17 or 16-14, but I don't I feel like. Am I talking about house here? Did you feel like the Packers were better in the first half than the second half?
oh man, they looked great in the first half. Jordan Love was on it. I think about midway through the third quarter, they were up by 9. That's been this story of this Packers team. All of a sudden, you're like, oh man, Super Bowl is within reach. This team is legit. They're firing on all cylinders, and then a couple things go wrong, and everything's over. The Micah Parsons injury obviously is devastating, but Zach Tom injury, the offense fell apart. Watson injury, that's huge. Evan Williams, our safety, who's been great in run support, went down. Those 3 guys may come back this game, but it's still just it's just devastating. I was so excited for the season, especially when Parsons joined the team, and we had those first 2 games. It's like
the Packers don't do those kind of trades. The Packers don't do those kind of trades.
And we wiped the first 2 teams, and I'm like, oh my god, we could go undefeated. And I know that's so silly to say, but I'm like,
no, I get it.
This is so legit. Our offense is legit. When Jordan Love looks great, everything's legit. But it's like I've seen weakness throughout the season on the O-line, even though we've spent tons of resources on that. They're moving guys around all over the place. It took them 10 weeks to get that solidified. Our secondary can't get turnovers to save their life. I mean, Micah Parsons he's at a 20% pressure rate. He has more pressures than the next 5 guys on our defense. And even on the play, I don't know if it was the play before or whatever, McKinney had an interception in his hand that he dropped. We are not for how much pressure we're getting on the quarterback, the secondary is just continuously getting exposed. I don't know if they're playing more conservative, but it's we should be leading the league. We should be up there in the top 10 at least in turnovers with the type of pressure we get after the quarterback. But it's just everything with the Packers is one thing works and then another thing doesn't. We can never get it all together. And now with this injury, it's we still have good players and our offense is still good. But man, it totally changes the outlook of the rest of the year.
Yeah, and Watson too, but he dodged a serious injury because he rushed him to the hospital. And also a little being selfish here. We were playing our mutual friend in fantasy when he went down, and I was like, oh God, no, I need this. But that's just fantasy football. But yeah, just like the Kansas City Chiefs, it was a loss, but a terrible loss because of losing Parsons. But that game was Bo Nix didn't get sacked once. He didn't get sacked.
He looked great. He had his best game of the year. Guys were open, but he was also slinging it. I mean, I have not seen him or the wide receivers look that good all year for the Broncos. But their defense, we scored on them. We were moving the ball. I was not scared of that defense until Zach Tom went out, and then they finally got after Love. So
yeah. He had 5 touchdowns that game, Bo Nix. He ran it and he threw 4, not sacked, had a rating of 134.7, and he was completed over 70% of his passes. So that's the best game he ever had this year. And I don't know, he just turned up against the Packers. Cortland Sutherland killed him. He had 7 receptions for 113 yards. But, I was surprised to see that that the Packers are 18th against the rush. I thought they were more stingy against the run. 18th rush is like you're still in the middle of the pack, but you gain towards the end. There a little bit of the bad of the second half. So, and they're 12th against the pass, which I thought they'd have been worse against the pass than they had the rushing defense.
They have more of like a speed defense. Like their linebackers are fast. Devontae Wyatt's gone out, and he's like one of their main run stuffers. Otherwise, yeah, we have like Rashawn Gary's pretty good run defense, but overall, yeah, I think our philosophy is that we can score more than the other team, so we let them run.
That's a good point about Rashard Gary, because so who's going to step up now with Michael Parsons
this guy
out?
Cooper. I mean,
hopefully
that's what happened last year. Like, so Halfley had everything schemed up, right? It was more blitzing, more running Quay Walker and Edrin Cooper to like have schemed pressures. Where this year, I feel like they just let Parsons do his thing, make pressure, and then the defense kind of just worked around him. Gary's not good enough to be a dominant edge. Lucas Van Ness has been pretty much a bust. Enigbari's shown some life, but I don't know. I think you're going to have to see what Halfley can do here and actually see a schemed defense.
And it's a good thing. And I brought up Gary for a reason, because he had 7.5 sacks in the first 7 games of the season. And the last 7 games, he has no sacks. So I don't know why, but he's fallen off a cliff. He was expected to be after he was supposed to be complimentary to Parsons, but even when Parsons was there, like I said, no sacks in 7 games. That's not going to cut it. So that worries me about getting after Caleb Williams, because now Caleb Williams got to be feeling happy that that he's going to have more of a cleaner pocket because Parsons gone. I don't know how good Wyatt was at getting after the quarterback, but he's out for this game still too. So keep that in mind. But I know Zach Thomas hurts. Watson, we got to keep an eye on that. Zach Thomas and Watson are going to play. They're questionable. You want to revert back to that the Packers own the Bears, in any situation, even if it's even with all these injuries, because the Packers are 30-6, 30 wins, 6 losses since 2008 against the Bears. I mean, that's just like astronomical. They're 24. I have it written down here somewhere. Oh, the Packers have won 6 straight at Soldiers Field. So that's another thing. So they're killing them at home. They're away in Chicago. They have this great record against them. It's a little more betting, some more tidbits here. They're 4-0 this year against NFC North opponents, so they're winning the division pretty well. And since Matt LaFleur's been the head coach, he's 24-12-1 in primetime games. So you have all this positive there. My worry is that this can be like a morale killer of having Parsons out. If Watson's out, Reed will have to take a step back, and maybe they'll take him off the snap count. They'll open it up a little bit more, because I think they'll need more than Golden and Romeo Dobbs and Jacobs to beat the Bears, because the Bears are on the way to get healthy. Like their best linebacker is he may play this game for sure. Excuse me, I'm bloated. Also, I want to mention before we jump to the Bears that the Jordan Love against the Bears is 9 touchdowns and 2 picks. So he's killing the Bears as well in the games he started. So all these numbers point out like, hey, even though the Packers, we lost to Denver, we have these injuries that happen to our team that are significant, but everything points out like they've had don't worry, because we've had the Bears number for a while. I don't know how much that plays, but I kind of feel it's like something you do have to worry about, because I know consciously it might be in the Bears, like, oh, they always have our number, like they might, and we can't screw it up,
Yeah, I will say, like, on a positive side, the Bears have been very they've been on the rise, and they've been consistent, and they've been fighting hard for the last like 10 weeks or something. On the negative side, though, they don't get after the quarterback. Their D-line is not producing pressures, and Jordan Love in a clean pocket is one of, if not the best quarterbacks in the league this year. And just the Bears defense in general just hasn't been good enough. I know they've had injuries, but just a corner or two is not going to change their whole defense.
No,
So those are the keys for me.
they only have 29 sacks, and I know that to people that might seem like a lot. It's not a lot in the NFL.
They have the most takeaways. I think they have 20 interceptions.
21 interceptions, yeah.
Yeah, which is huge, but you can't always rely on that.
Yeah. So what it comes down to this, just for the Bears quickly, I was surprised to find out that they have the 5th ranked offense in the whole league. Like they have the second best rush offense in all of the NFL. So that's a combination of Caleb and Monangai and Swift. Swift is questionable in this game, so keep an eye out for that. But I think he will play. But so I think this is the same recipe they're going to do. Also, breaking news here: Romeo Duze and Burden are out for this game. So Burden killed it last week. Doze, he was doing it. We went from Caleb Williams' weapons that he liked about of all the weapons. So that pays dividends. So I expect a lot of 2 tight end sets of Kmet and Loveland, and having DJ Moore probably go out there for the deep ball. And so keep an eye. But Burden being out is big. But they lead the league in interceptions. But last time you guys played, Caleb Williams did not play good. He had 100, and I got 100. What I got here? He was 19 for 35 for 186 yards and less than 60% completion rate. So as me and Adam both said, we're not Caleb Williams fans because I don't see it. And, he did not play good against the Packers. And, like I said, they are getting healthy. I don't know how much I put much into that. Tremaine Amons is questionable for this game, but he's a full practice. He will blitz you guys if he's there. So I'll let you take this one, man. It's a tough one. I'm not sure who's going to pull this out. Is the Packers going to step it up with all the injuries? And they know that they have to keep up with the rest of the league, because NFC West, they're right behind the 49ers, Seahawks. Their wild card spots. Lions are at the hills. So I don't know, man. What do you like?
This might be the dumbest thing I've ever said on the show, but our defense might do better without Micah Parsons against the Bears. Because just listen to this crazy theory, okay?
Okay.
The only way he killed us last game was when he rolled out to the right, because he was getting flushed from the pocket so early every single play. If he has to stand in the pocket, throw the ball to a depleted wide receiver core to dice up this Packers defense, I just don't think it's happening. And I think the Packers are still going to score points. So for me, it's an easy Packers dub for the sweep.
Oh, man. This is a tough one for me. It really is. Like, I chose the Bears plus the 6.5, and they didn't cover that. But I think Caleb's will have a cleaner pocket, and I think I think they're gonna win money line cover 1.5 points, because I just don't. I think the Jordan Love is gonna have a good game. I really think he's gonna light it up, especially if Watson is playing. Because I don't like the secondary of the Bears. But as their best defender is now healthy, he's gonna be playing this game, full participant. I don't know. Who's gonna step up? You said yourself, like, that it's gonna have to be Cooper, or he's gonna be play like last year, and I get that. I'm not confident pick. It's basically a pick 'em game, 50-50. But I just told you guys, Packers have their number. They've won all these games at Soldiers Field consecutively. So, but this is different because Ben Johnson is the head coach. He can scheme. They will be running the ball. So also, it might be good that because one of Parsons' weaknesses is that you could run right at him and might overshoot his skis, and then it's open. So that maybe the run game will get tighter for the Packers because they could just focus. They don't have to, they could, I don't know, their gaps, could just focus on the gaps instead of trying to get after the quarterback right away. I don't know, but I think Ben Johnson was scheming enough. And, maybe they win this by a field goal. God knows. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears drop the ball because it is the Bears. But give Adam the Packers, and I will take the Bears. So it should be a fun game. Great Saturday card. Now let's jump to Sunday. Our toilet bowl game of the week. Jets versus Saints. Saints being fair by 5.5, over under 4.5 points. Now, the Jets are coming off a blowout loss to the Jaguars. Me and Adam had the Jaguars covering that big number. I mean, folks, here we are. Okay. You know who the Jets are. Okay. They fired their defensive coordinator in Wilkes. He says it wasn't his defense, Aaron Glenn. I'm like, aren't you the defense coordinator from the Lions? Like, you're not telling me that's not your defense you implemented? Sure, not sure, buddy. They're, like, what are you going to say? There's nothing you really pull from this offense. They're sixth in rushing. Woohoo. Okay, great. Hey, they could run the ball, but that doesn't amount to nothing. Okay, just you could put just guys in the box because Cook is the quarterback. God bless him. He's out there doing his best. His family is supporting him, but Cook is the quarterback. He threw 3 or 4 interceptions against the Jaguars. So, don't be too excited about that. It's the worst passing defense even before him with Justin Fields and Taylor still ranked 32nd, so not good. Garrett Wilson is not playing this game. I wouldn't be surprised to keep him on ice all year long. Why risk it? Not much you could pull from this. Their pass defense is ranked 12th. That's not terrible. It's actually, good. But their rush defense is ranked 29th. So expect we'll get to that. So not a good rush defense. But what is unbelievable to me, week 16, and they have no interceptions, not one pick. They only have 2 takeaways the whole season, and there are 2 fumble recoveries. That's it. Them having no interceptions right now, it broke the record in week 12 or week 13. So they're shattering. It is pathetic that they can, and possibly this is their best chance to get a turnover against the rookie quarterback and Shook. So possibly they get this, but that is unbelievable. Especially a guy, if I'm the Jets, I'm probably fired Aaron Glenn. This is pathetic, but I don't care
if you're the Jets, why trade away your best corner?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That'll fix it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know what we could do. Yeah. Okay. God. So, folks, there's nothing too much to put up there. I guess the positives is that the pass defense is okay, but these stats are still, they're probably better when Sauce Gardner before he got traded. They're probably getting worse since he's been traded. I told you guys since when AD Mitchell, when he came along with the Colts trade, that would have been actually a decent trade. And it looks like it's paying dividends. 236 yards receiving on 18 receptions and 2 touchdowns. I really think he could be a solid low tier 1 wide receiver, maybe a good, really number 2 one if the Jets get another weapon. So that was a nice little pickup there from, but not much to say with the Jets after that. And let's talk the Saints briefly. Coming off with actually a surprising great win against the schizophrenic Panthers, but they got it. They won it. So great win. Tyler Shook, I think it was his best game he's had all year. He does everything. Tyler Shook, he looks like Jackson Dart out there. He's running the ball, sack for his body, trying to fight for, trying to prove to the Saints that, hey, don't draft Archie Manning in 2 years. I could be your starting quarterback. But, I think that we'll stick with him next year because they got other shit to worry about with their picks. But he's sacrificed his body. But now, I told you guys let's hold up on the Jets rush defense because it's terrible. So you would say, well, then New Orleans just run on them, and you could probably win this game. Well, I don't think Kamara's going to come back for this game. He is questionable, but why play him when you're going nowhere? But also Devin Neal, the backup, is also hurt. I know they picked up somebody recently off the depth chart. Let me check this in real time. And I was just
Evan Hull?
Yeah, they picked up Evan. No, they picked up Audric Estime.
Oh, he was a highly touted guy that's busted, basically.
Yeah, he went to the Bears. The Eagles picked him up from the practice squad. He's been jumping around. So Hull, Estime, and probably Hill are going to be the running back duo. So even though there's a crappy rush defense, do you trust these guys to rush on them?
No, I don't know. No. And who else? Their wide receiver 2's out.
Vili's out too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people on this offense that are beat up. You still got Chris Olave. You still got Juwan Johnson, who I'm a big fan of. I like Foster Monroe as a second back up tight end. So I'm gonna be expecting probably some two tight end sets a lot with Olave. But folks, other than that, I am not seeing anything I like from this whatsoever. Their starting right guard is questionable. Nothing else you could prove from this. Chris Young has 3 sacks, has a sack out of the last 3-4 games. So there's something there. Man, I'll take this one. I think because of Cook, the quarterback for them, is look god awful. Maybe he needs more. Obviously needs more games to get used to the NFL speed, if you will. But I think the Saints on a 2-game winning streak, I believe. I think they keep it going with the third. They play good at home. They play better at home. I think this defense, which is actually stingy, it's not a bad defense. It's their offense we have to worry about. That's what I've been telling you guys. I think they could probably hold the Jets to 2 touchdowns or less, and they win this game and cover the 5.5.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the spark that Shook has given that team, and it seems like they're trying to finish the season strong. So I'm with you.
Yeah. If I'm the Saints, I'm like, why are we winning? Well, I don't understand this, but you can't tell the players that. I'm sure the GM and head coach like, what the? Or the GM's probably like, God damn it, lose so we can get a better pick. But neither here or there. The Saints found something, and they are winning games. So now let's get to the biggest spread of the game. I do believe, the second biggest spread. I believe we have the Bills versus the Browns. We got the Bills favored by 10.5 points in the over/under 41.5. Bills coming off a good one against the Patriots, baby. I had the Bills on that one, so I was glad to have it. Very tough, a very good game. They were going back and forth, battling the Pats and the Bills, but eventually they pull ahead. Every time Cook goes over 100 yards this season, they've won 7-1. So that's like the key. Rush the ball. Like he had 21 carries against the Pats. Excuse me. That's what you need. Not this under. Do not give him under 20 carries. He needs 20 to 25 carries. You got to Cook is your best weapon, and then it's Kincaid. So you need to keep on rushing the ball with him. Obviously, Allen had 3 touchdowns that game against the Pats as usual. He has to play Superman because his weapons are not the best. But the Bills are also. Oh, by the way, the Bills this is an unbelievable stat here, but the Bills are 24-4 in the regular season when their games are in December and January since December of 2020. So in 5 years, they're 24-4 in the months of December and January. So they just turn it on there. They don't turn it on in the playoffs, but they like turn it on in the regular season. So there's that. Number 1 rushing attack in the NFL. Guys, we know what there is. Allen's playing like a madman. Their rush defense sucks ass. So that's one thing that could be exploited by the Cleveland's offense, because that's one thing they do well, kind of well, is with Judkins. So that's something to keep in mind. Of Allen's going to play like a madman. Kincaid, hopefully he's healthy for this team, and that's that. Browns are coming off a blowout loss to the Chicago Bears. Embarrassing, in my opinion. Browns, they're terrible on offense. They're in the bottom 3-4 of every metric in the offense. Sure, Sanders threw 3 or 4 interceptions. So it's all about the defense when it comes to the Browns. They do have the number 1 pass defense in the league. So there's that. Obviously, Myles Garrett's going to be hunting like a son of a gun because he just needs a couple more sacks to own that record, and I believe he will get it. So I think he'll play with extra juice. But it all comes down to the defense. That's what it comes down. No, it all comes down. Their defense has come to play, even though the Tennessee put points on them, and then the Bears put a lot of points on them. So I take that back. Their defense has been looking a little, suspect, if you will. So they've been back-to-back games with over 30 points put on them. Dude, I'll let you take this one. Browns are 5-9 against the spread. Big number. Do you believe the Bills are going to keep it going and cover this big number in Cleveland?
I do. I think the Browns have basically given up. I don't know. The Bills are still in the hunt for the number 1 seed, I think. So I think they're still playing for something. And man, Josh Allen's looking great. They're really rolling on offense. So I think they can do it.
Yeah. I'm taking the Browns plus the 10.5 points. I obviously think that Allen's going to play Superman, 100% sure. But since his weapons are just average guys. There nobody stands out. I think the Browns will keep everything in front of them, and they will just prepare for the rush and just guard that, and they'll keep this game close. I think the Bills are going to win for sure, but I think it's going to be a little tighter than we all think. I would love them to use, just just have Juckins, Simpsons, Ford. Just use these three running backs at a time, and then use Shador Sanders over the top. Try to get to Jerry Judy. Try to get to Fannin. But I think they keep it close enough. Bills win, but I think the Browns do cover this game. Now to the second crappy game of the week. Now we wouldn't say this last year, but now we have the Chiefs versus the Tennessee Titans, with the Chiefs only being favored by 3 points, and the over-under is 37.5. My cat just opened my door. And this game, the Chiefs, I told you, the Chiefs are favored by 3 points, but it opened at 11.5, which is massive number to drop. Yeah, it opened at 11.5 points but obviously Patrick Mahomes, he got hurt. But if you caught this number at 11.5, man, that's looking good. If you caught it 11.5, look at folks, you spend all over them dudes. Chiefs are coming off a loss against the Chargers. Before the Patrick Mahomes injury, it says a lot about them for letting the Chargers actually come back and win that game. You ask yourself, like, the Chargers offensive line is all beat up like crazy. Okay. Sorry, my cat is just like going this to the wall. If anybody hears that,
you can't hear it.
Yeah. So that they were already before he tore his ACL, they were going all up and on they were winning, and then he tore his ACL because he turned the final drive. That says more about the Chiefs in general than anything. Okay, it's like this. You have this. I mean, it says about the Eagles too, but the Eagles, that's a whole different story. But sticking to the Chargers and Chiefs games, the Chiefs. You have the worst pass blocking offensive line in the league in the Chargers, and you can't just win this game. You can't close away. There's nobody in this defense that really scares you anymore at all. McDuffie, your best corner, he is questionable in this game, probably leaning not to play. Chris Jones I don't want to say he's a shell of himself, but he looks like he's took a step back a bit. Maybe age is creeping up. We've repeated this stuff, and you know what? These wide receivers we all know about, maybe they're not as elite as we think they are. Worthy, good speedster, but is that all he has? Is he a one-trick pony? He's definitely not Tyreek Hill, because Tyreek Hill, that was the fastest wide receiver at one point. He's also a great route runner. I don't see that in Worry. He's also injury prone. He gets hurt. He's very skinny. Also, Rashid Rice, maybe good, not great. Travis Kelce, good year, but I mean, I don't know. Like, if you're telling me an aging tight end your best weapon, how do you think this is a good year going into it? Or how do you think this is a good team overall? Thornton, the rookie wide receiver, probably not playing this game. Rice, I think he's concussion protocol. He might not play this game. The two tackles, left tackle, right tackle, they've been out multiple games. They might be out this game. So all these guys are questionable. Everybody's beat up. Gardner Minshew's the quarterback. God bless you if he is. You saw how he threw the interception against the Chargers. Like, he threw it like right at the Chargers guy. And it was like, okay, well, thank you, Gardner Minshew. Mustache Mania has been really nothing. But also, it's kind of morale beating that they haven't had a losing record since 2012. So this is their first losing record since 2012. I don't know. Anything you want to say? The Chiefs, man. It's like, and you know me, I've been harping on this like since the season. How stupid were you not to get a running back to help? How this would have helped them so much to get just a good, not great. You didn't have to get somebody good. You could have got somebody, Stevenson from the Patriots, who's playing now back up to the rookie. You could have got him, and he'd have been head and shoulders better in the running back room, but they don't. It's looking like it's bad moves all around from the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it's rough. I can't see them coming up and fighting too hard. They probably will, but a lot of guys are hurt. Chris Jones is questionable too.
Yeah.
It's brutal. Rashid Rice got smacked. The Chargers had a couple hits in that game that were nasty, like old school, kind of clean, but old school, huge hits.
Yeah, the passing defense is no joke when it comes to the Chargers. So, folks, there it is. We all know he's hurt, and who knows if morale's gonna be high for this team. But no, they don't do anything good. Okay, Mahomes was there. Now we're gonna see how good their offense really is, because without Mahomes might have been carrying that team on his shoulders all the way. So we'll see how good they actually are. Hey, let's start with the Titans. Let's don't forget about them. Coming off a blowout loss to the 49ers. What are you gonna do? That was one of my best bets. Cam Ward is looking a little better than usual. He's getting. I think he's getting more used to the game. Bright spot: Tony Pollard, best back-to-back games he's had all year. Back-to-back over 100 yards in both games. So maybe the rushing game is coming out a little bit for them. So there's that. Yeah, man. I don't know. What do you think, man?
They still scored 24. I mean, it wasn't nothing. It was a loss, but they still scored points against a well-coached Niners team.
Yeah,
but
they did. Do you think they are gonna, or do you think they're good enough to be this close of a number?
I don't know. I mean, you don't know what you're going to get from Gardner Minshew, and like you said, without Mahomes, I don't know what this team is. They can't run the ball. Their defense isn't that good. And this has to be like the Titans' little Super Bowl, at the end of the year. Like, hey, they can beat up on a ex-Super Bowl team. I think they can do it. Cam Ward has looked better. They're frisky on defense. Simmons has been playing out of his mind on the D-line. I don't know. I think I'm going to go Titans just for fun.
I hear you. And I went back and forth in this one. I'm solely taking the Chiefs because of Andy Reid. I think he could possibly mock something up with Gardner Minshew, using like more of a, when Jeff Garcia was on the Eagles, dinking and dunking and using your legs, using 2 tight end sets, using a lot of flats, curls, slants, and keeping the game. It's gonna be a crap show. That's why the numbers at 37.5. So basically, whoever gets to like 14 points, 17 points is probably gonna win the game. So not confident, but maybe Andy. I'm just taking the Chiefs, which I took them last week too, but I'm hoping maybe they just, with Andy Reid's coaching and Spags, the defensive coordinator, they can do something with that. So give Adam the Tennessee Titans and give me the Chiefs to cover the 3.5 points. And speaking about the Chargers, they are going to Dallas, and Dallas is favored by 1.5 points, and the over/under is 49.5. Chargers coming off like we said, a close win against the Chiefs. Good for them. This is another team that they have a great quarterback. Great. I like Justin Herbert. Guy could sling it. But their defense is better than their offense, pretty much. They have a great pass defense. It's really good. I do want to mention that they're not so great. They're like a below average when it comes to guarding, if you will, slot wide receivers. So CeeDee Lamb in the slot might be a big payday for somebody out there, or if you have him in your fantasy, he might be good. So keep an eye out for that. O-line is awful. As I told you guys, as we talked about the previous matchup, they have the worst pass blocking offensive line in the league. Both tackles are out for the year, as you know this. I don't know, man. The Chargers, Quinn Johnson is questionable too with the concussion, I believe. They have the running backs. It's all about the defense, pass defense. They go. Their defense is just as good as anybody's in the league. It's all about, can the Chargers offense do enough to the Chargers defense to hold the opponent's team to win this game. I also want to say that since trading for Alwyn, I pronounce the guy from the Ravens, the Chargers have been third in pass rush success rate. So, as I told you guys, when they made that trade, that was a sneaky trade for them. So, since that, it's a good complementary rusher with Max. So, keep that in mind. But like I said, can the offensive line protect enough so Herbert can get it out to his decent weapons and McConkey and Allen and Godson, the tight end, and but I think they're going to use I think they'll be running a ball as they usually do a lot in this game. Cowboys, coming off an embarrassing loss to the Vikings, making J.J. McCarthy look like Joe Montana out there. I mean, it's this defense.
They got grittied on by J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, my God. it's like after that, like I'd be like, do you have any pride? Like
No.
this is awful. I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but Diggs, the tight end, the corner they signed to that deal last year or 2 years ago, a big deal. There's there's like something going on, like they're gonna cut him basically, like because there's just something going on between them. It's not going well, and Bland is okay. He's not great. I don't know why. Maybe those injuries are catching up to Bland, but the secondary is god awful, folks. It is god awful. Anybody could pass on them. And it also doesn't help that Quinnen Williams is in concussion protocol. He's their arguably their best defender. So who's gonna get after Quentin? I mean, after Justin Herbert, if Justin Herbert, if no, who's gonna get to Justin Herbert? Since Quinn Williams is going to be out because his offensive line is beat up. Maybe nobody, because your best pass rusher is questionable for this game. George Pickens, the guy's been, he's been going down a little bit, not performing like he did. Maybe that's because CD Lamb came back healthy and he's focused on CD Lamb. We know what this is, man. They have the number one pass offense in the league, but they're playing against one of the better pass protections, pass defenses. So I'll let you take this one. Do you think Chargers can protect Herbert enough to expose this Dallas's defense?
Yeah, I'm sick of the Cowboys. They had a couple weeks where, man, they looked almost unstoppable on offense, and then they made some defensive trades, and they were looking good there, and things have just regressed pretty steadily for the last couple weeks. I just am not seeing enough out of them. So I like the Chargers defense to bottle them up enough.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to Minnesota because the the Vikings. Oh damn it! Weber changed the. Oh, sorry, our friend changed our wide receiver fantasy just in time.
Took Devontae Adams out like right before kickoff.
Yeah, damn it. Yeah, I'm with you in the Chargers. If the Minnesota Vikings, who have a decent offensive line, so they can protect better, but if their defense can hold the, if JJ McCarthy can beat them, Justin Herbert could beat them with his good defense. So I think Harbaugh will scheme some good stuff. So give us both the Chargers plus the 1.5. Now let's talk about the Vikings. Here we go. We got the Vikings versus the Giants. This is a really good game, huh? With the Vikings being favored by 3 points, and the over-under is 43.5. Look, the Vikings are coming off a good win against Dallas, as we said. JJ McCarthy, is he looking better? I don't know. Is it the opponents he's playing? That's what his opponent, the back-to-back wins were against the Commanders and the Cowboys, two terrible defenses. So, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's, I mean, I don't know if you saw that clip, but like when he throws he lifts his whole leg up, and that's like, you gotta like pinpoint it, like get at your other foot. I guess Josh Allen had that problem. So maybe they can fix it, but next year, we're talking about this year. So, I mean, do you still think that he's just like,
he's got no touch, that he just laser balls it, and he's a psycho, I think. And I think he's like gets really confident, and he's on a bit of a confident streak here. So I don't know what could come of it. I mean, you saw Chris Carter rip him a new one.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, obviously, their the Vikings coach is doing whatever he can to try and salvage this season and get the offense working. But they put up points against the Vikings. Their defense is still really good. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I obviously McCarthy can't be the quarterback of the future, but he's going to try and put on a little show at the end of the year to keep the competition at bay. But I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right about that, because the opponents besides they have the Giants and then the Lions and then the Packers, and let's get these wins while we can against the Giants, Cowboys, and Commanders, and let's what's going to happen. They play the Packers and the Lions, but you're right. As we said, not too much to say about the Vikings here. Okay. As we always said, they're going to go as far as JJ McCarthy can take them, because I don't think you could rely on Jones Sr. and Mason to carry this team. I think they're just above average quarterbacks at this time in the years in there are in the, as old as they are now in the NFL. But if you could get to Addison, if you could get to Justin Jefferson and the other guy who likes throwing too, I forget, number one, I think he is Naylor. So if they could get to him and some little bit through Hawkinson, they'll win the game. But he can't turn the ball over. He has 10 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. But these 2 games has met his touchdowns more than his interceptions. He's just got over the hump. So, pump the brakes, because when it comes to the Vikings, it's their defense. As I told you guys, their defense is great. It's really good. They're only allowing about 21 points a game. They have great guys to get after you in the pass rush. I mean, and they have 35 sacks. I thought you want to see a little bit more than that, but like I said, it's all about what this offense can do for you, and can the defense do enough and hold the opposing team so the offense can, score enough just to beat them by 3 points, 4 points, 2 points. So that's it. The defense has to play elite for the offense to win. Now let's talk about the Giants. Lost to the Commanders in New York, which there says about that. I don't know, dude. The Giants, besides Robinson, you could throw to. Cool. I don't know if the Jackson Dart's still doing his thing, but like,
Mark, your camera's black.
Oh, that was my fault. Wow, we in real time here. Sorry, folks. I actually hit the fade to black. And see.
We got a Sopranos button or what?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Wait, does this do anything to say? Nope, nothing. All right. Well, all right. We are back. Okay, folks. Finish this quick. Giants. Look at Jackson Dart. He's doing his utmost. He had almost 250 yards passing. He's running his butt off. But that's about it. Their defense has been something to be left desired. Their secondary is not so good. You could put up points against the Giants. They're like I think teams almost put in averaging 30 points a game against them, as is usual. I do want to mention something. Now, Brian Flores does blitz like a madman. But Jackson Dart is actually top 10 against the blitz. So he actually doesn't mind the blitz as a rookie quarterback. Now, half has to do with the success rate with his legs. So, dude, it's 3 points. It makes you think, right? Like, why is it only 3 points this Vikings game? It's a little fishy to me. I mean, I'll take this one. They're 2-4 at home. There's almost no weapon to like besides Robinson. I don't like Teron Tracy. I do not like Singletary, and their defense hasn't stepped up like we wanted it to. So I think the Vikings, just solely on the defense, will keep this at the Jackson Dart Giants at bay, and they cover the 3 points. Now, I can't believe I'm taking JJ McCarthy to cover 3 points, but I'll just give me the better defense and the better coaching by O'Connell.
Yeah, I'm with you. Vikings had a good showing last week. I don't see that changing against a really bad Giants team right now. So I don't like it either, but I'm picking them.
Yeah. Now let's get to the really good game here. We have the two of teams that you'd be nuts to put money on them, either of them. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we have the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Carolina Panthers. Buccaneers being favored by 3 points, and the over-under is 45.5. Yeah, that's what I got there. The Buccaneers, first of all, the Panthers them losing to the Saints was a big deal, because in my opinion, the Panthers now have to win out to make the playoffs. They're both 7-7. I know, like, what does that mean? No, they played the Bucs twice. They played the Bucs twice in the last 3 weeks, and they played the Bucs the last week of the season. So they need to win this game, because after that, I believe the Carolina Panthers, after they play the Buccaneers, which they got to win, they play the Seahawks. Okay, and that might bode well. My light went off. That might not bode well for them if they lose this game. So they lose this game, and then they lose the game to I'm sorry. I'm going to take the Seahawks against the Panthers. I'm telling you right now. But dumb. If they would have beat the Saints, they could afford to lose that game, one of these games, and then still win the division, because we're not one of these teams are making the wild card. So you win the division, you're in. I want to mention that. But let's talk about the Buccaneers, okay? they come to a loss to the Falcons. Now, I went to bed. I was like, I looked at my phone and I'm like, hey, the Buccaneers are up. They're only up by like 2 points or 1 point, whatever it is. It's 3rd and 28. No way the Falcons are getting that. I literally put my phone down on my nightstand, went to bed. I wake up and the Buccaneers lost. It's like this defense is bleeding like a sieve. It is just god awful, especially after the second half. In the second half here, they were pretty good in like the first 9 weeks, especially in DVOA, but they have gone complete opposite. It's just like the defense of last year. And I told you guys, their defense is Swiss cheese. You could just pass and pass and pass. And then apparently the rush defense ain't so good either because they're getting ran the ball either. Okay. Kirk Cousins beat you. So this defense is bleeding like a sieve. They lost 2 division games in a row. The only thing that looks positive is Mike Evans, who I regret dropping our fantasy, even though our mutual friend picked him up and he forgot to start him. I beat him. But he looks good at 100 yards receiving. So they have Godwin now. They have your boy, the rookie. They have Mike Evans, and they have Bucky Irving. So that's one thing. Like, hey, the weapons are finally healthy. Offensive line, I believe their starting tackle is still out for the game. He's going to be out for the week or the year, if you will. So there's that. But it just comes down to the defense. Guys, we know that they're going to play well. Also, I mentioned this last week. I want to mention again. Baker Mayfield's been terrible the last 4 or 5 games. Completion rating, terrible. He's not throwing the ball well. So it's just not the defense. Mayfield, I don't know what's going on, but he is not, he's not living up to his bargain. You know what I mean? So I think they need to get back to just rushing the ball a lot and use Tucker, use Rashad White, and use Bucky Irving. I think they need to turn more to a running team possibly, and then use the play action because Mayfield is being a little shaky. But folks, it's the defense. I just want to double check here. Yeah, their guard is still out. They have 2 guards who've been out. Their 2 guards are going to be out for the game. So, dude, I know the NFC South, just like last year, sucks. They're a little better than this year because of how Panthers are doing, but I'm not the Buccaneers, man. A lot of people had them in one of the top teams first half, and Baker Mayfield was an MVP, top 10 candidate. Now it's not looking like I don't know. It's like they're going down the well pretty damn fast.
Yeah, the wheels have just totally fallen off. Like you said, their defense is terrible. And they made Kyle Pitts look like Megatron last week.
Oh, yeah.
What do you have, his best game ever?
Yeah, best game.
It just, they've totally fallen apart. And I don't know how they're going to get it back together. I mean, I thought getting their wide receiver room healthy again was going to be that Kickstarter. But with Mayfield not playing well, it's been ugly.
Yeah. There's that. Now let's talk about the Panthers. Okay, the Panthers, they're coming off against the Saints. They had that game. I wouldn't say they had the game in the bag, but it was pretty. It looked like they were going to win, and then oh my God, let me talk about that game real quick. I don't want to harp on this, but the Panthers, talk about bad coaching. It would have been like maybe around a 50-yard field goal, give or take. But they decided to go on it. It was like 4th and 6 or 4th and 3rd. No less than 3rd, but no more than 6 yards, okay? They could have kicked the field goal and go up to 10 points in the 4th quarter. They go for a 4th quarter with Bryce Young and there's one wide receiver. He throws to the rookie, and they don't get it. And guess what happens? They lose. They lose to the Saints by 3 points. So if you just would have held on to it, if you went for those 10 points, at least you could have won in overtime. Stupid coaching. I was like, kick the field goal. What are you doing? This is stupid. Why are you going for take the points? You'll be up 10 points in the 4th quarter. No, stupid decision, and you got the loss for it. So that's a dumb decision by the Panthers. Like I said, bad loss by the Saints, because Saints are going nowhere fast. I don't understand this. I don't understand the Panthers. They only have J.C. Horn on one side of the field. They don't have him follow every top wide receiver. Now I mention that because they are ranked 30th against wide receiver ones. So that means that, and they're the best against wide receiver 2. So that means, when they're the second wide receiver, whatever, the second outside guy, They do the best ends. But the ace, the number one guy, they're the bottom three in the league. They're ranked 30th. They let them almost average over 70 yards a game. They're more wide receivers. So keep that in mind, because this might be a Mike Evans game and he might just light them up. Because you guys saw last week, Mike Evans was a no snap count. He had all his receptions. So take Mike Evans any player prop over. So I don't know why they don't let Jesse Horn just follow the number one wide receiver. Do that, and then you'll cure the problem of you being terrible against wide receiver ones. So do that. So, dude, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I'll let you take this one. Who do you like? What do you like? Do you think you never know what you're going to get the Panthers? I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, the Panthers, since they played the Bills, lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one, won one, lost one. So history would say, hey, they're going to win one. But who knows? Do you trust? And also, do you trust? It's the Buccaneers offense, terrible defense. Panthers, you never know what you're going to get. You're basically throwing a dice game when it comes to them. Who do you like, man?
I guess the Buccaneers. I still think that offense has potential. I've continued to be fooled by them, but I'm going to keep being fooled by them.
Yeah, man. It's tough. It is tough because, like, I don't know what's going to come out of this, and they've been disappointment too, the Buccaneers, and but I'm solely going to take the Panthers just because of their win-loss. That's it. This team is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You have no idea what you're getting it from. Bryce Young, is he good? Nah, he's probably better than average. Maybe that's about it. They got to stick to the goddamn running game. That's about it, and that's it. But give me the points. Just give me the points in the individual game, and I'm gonna hope and pray that they get Dr. Hyde in this one and not Mr. Jekyll. I don't know, but give me the Panthers plus 3 points and give Adam the Tampa Bay Tampa Bay needs to cover and give me the points. Okay. So now let's go to a crappy game. We have the Bengals versus the Miami Dolphins. Bengals being favored by 4.5, and the over under is 47.5 points. Cincinnati, they had an outside shot. They lose. So they've lost now back-to-back games, the Bills and Ravens. Ravens, put them 24-0. There was points in that game where I was like they were like there on the other side of the Ravens like all the time, and like they were not putting it away. I don't know if it was turnovers or they just weren't going through with it, but I was like score. And Burrow had 2 interceptions again. He's saying he's like, I don't know. It sounds like he does not want to be in Cincinnati, to be honest with you. I mean, why'd you sign that contract then? I don't understand these players who sign with crappy teams. Crosby, Garrett, Burrow. You might never win one again. So, and the Cincinnati's off defense is historically bad. It is historically bad. You almost average 33 points a game on them. So you got that. And that's what it comes down to. Now, I know they're getting their rookie defensive end, Stewart, back for this game. So he's finally back. He's been now for several games. So, if Hawkinson, Hendrickson, is it Hawkinson or no? It's Hendrickson. I mean, he's on the injury reserve, so he's probably not coming back either. So, but Shamar Stewart is back for this game. So that is something, I guess. But, they have a lot of injury guys on their list. And T.D. Higgins wasn't spot on the field for Thursday's practice, so they need him more than anything. So there's that. And it's out with the Cincinnati with other teams. It's all the offense is great. You got arguably the number one wide receiver, a top 5 quarterback, but their defense is god awful, just like the Cowboys. Now, with the Miami Dolphins, breaking news, if anybody heard of it, Tua has been benched for Ewers, the guy they drafted in the 7th round from Texas. Quinn Ewers, he actually had a lot of juice in college, where some people were. I remember him like even getting questioned to be a Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know why he dropped to the 7th round. Maybe his game in college doesn't transition well to the pros, but you gotta see what they have. Tua has been like, I don't know. Go watch the games, folks. The Steelers. Tua just looks like a deer in headlights. I told you guys to cover that game because he's god awful when it comes to playing in the cold for some reason. Dude, when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, who still have an outside chance to have a winning record if they win out, and they have a chance to because they beat the Bengals. They have the Buccaneers and the Patriots might take some time off if they win out. Well, maybe not too because they got to beat the Bills, but they could still finish 8 and 9. So there, I don't know if you would consider that motivation, but there's nothing really here. Devontae A. Chain, they're gonna feed him as they should. What's his name? Warren, the tight end. Waller, I mean, the guy has been a revelation. Good weapon since Tyreek Hill has been out there. They still got the same guys. So man, awful defense by the Bengals. Great rushing offense of the Miami Dolphins. Terrible defense by the Bengals. So I think it comes to, do you think this rushing attack to do enough to win this game or recover against this Bengals offense? I mean, this Bengals against the Bengals in general, or do you think the Bengals offense can just outscore? Because what they'll have to do is outscore to win this game. And this is tough, man. Rookie quarterback, but does it matter if it's a rookie quarterback because you're playing against a historic bad defense? Um, yeah, this is tough, man. I think I'm going to reluctantly take the oh, man.
Man, this is hurting you. I can go if you want to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Dolphins. I really don't like the Bengals without T. Higgins, especially with how bad they played last week. Like I said, Burrow doesn't want to be there. I think Burrow needs to go to a big city. He's like a
Yeah.
I that's a total different point. But Tua's been so bad that maybe a rookie and a little bit of juice here at the end of the year might help the Dolphins, and they can run, so that helps a rookie quarterback. So I'll take the points.
Yeah. That's where I was about to say Bengals, and then I'm like, it's in Miami. They love playing in warm weather. Maybe the change of the quarterback might add a jump, but I'm gonna take the points as well because this defense is god awful, and A Chain could possibly run all over them. So give me the points for two crappy teams. I'll take it, whatever. So give us both Miami plus the points. Now let's talk about one of the better games of the week as usual. As usual, why is that? That makes no sense. One of the better games of the week: Jaguars versus the Broncos. Broncos favored by 3 points, over under 47.5. Briefly, Adam, what did you see from Denver that maybe you were impressed by? Was it just solely the breakout game, basically for Bro Nix this season, or was it mostly were you impressed with their defense at all? Because I know you said in the first half you thought the Packers were doing well.
Yeah, they were. They obviously have studs on defense though, and in the second half, once they smelled blood in the water, they got after it. Pat Surtain played awesome. Was on the pick, I think, that hurt Christian Watson. He was all over him. And yeah, Bo Nix and Cortland Sutton had a great game. I still don't think they're consistent enough on offense to trust. I think they got up for this game, and maybe we're just a good matchup against our defense. So I do struggle with them. Their running game was decent, but not dominant. I'm still confused by this Broncos team. I really am.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's hard to believe that they could keep this winning streak going. They are 7-0 at home, so they play really well at home. They're 7-0. I just want to mention something that they have outscored opponents 115 to 51 in the fourth quarter. So they're they turn it on in the fourth quarter like nobody's business. That's quite odd, and that includes they outscore in the fourth quarter. And when they're playing at home, they outscored opponents 67-29. So there's just something about fourth quarter, them turning it on, if you will. So when it's getting late in the games and they may be playing catch up or the game's tied, that has something to be said that they're good closers, if you will, or they know how to they're not giving up and they're down. As did with the Eagles. Eagles were up on them by I think 2 scores maybe, and they came back and won that game. We shouldn't have lost, but Jacksonville's on a tear. Trevor Lawrence is playing well. He's doing great. Jacoby Myers going in that team was a godsend for him because he finally has a team with a weapon with reliable hands. They're working on actually a 3-year extension. They just reported that today. That opens everything, guys. I told you Brendan Strange, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Etienne. So it opens everything up just to have a reliable weapon with Jacoby Myers being there. And they're going great. They have also, in general, the Jaguars have 18 interceptions and are plus 10 in turnover differential. That's pretty great. So it's not like the Jaguars defense is not holding their own. They are holding their own too. The Jaguars are also averaging basically 33 points in the last 7 games. So they're pinning up big numbers. Their offense is looking elite. Like I said, it looks even better since Jacoby Myers is there. And they scored 84 points in back-to-back wins against the Colts and Jets. So, they are pitting a lot of points in the teams you should. So I don't think it's going to be that much of a cakewalk for the Denver Broncos defense because, their defense is legit. When it comes down to this, I think so, man, it's like to me, it's who's gonna have the better quarterback play. I know that's like, oh yeah, of course, whoever better quarterback plays, you can win. But no, it truly is because you need Bo Nix to have a game like he did with the Packers to beat these good teams. You do. He I don't think Bo Nix, the way he played, if he plays the way he's been playing all year against one of the better teams, that it might fall down. Now it does say something about they're like I said, the fourth quarter, them doing that and all that. But you know what? I'm gonna take a hot Jags team. They're both hot. They're doing well. Like I said, that they're in a 9-game winning streak, the 10-game winning streak, the Denver Broncos. But I'm gonna take the Jaguars plus the 3 points. I think that I think this is gonna be a really tight game. I think Liam Cohen's could dial up something good, and I think that I think Trevor Lawrence is just going to do just a tad better for them to win and cover this game, possibly win outright.
Yeah. I don't know. This is one where like my brain is saying Broncos and my heart is saying Jags. I do think the Jaguars are going to be able to run on this defense, and I do like that their defense has been getting turnovers. So I'll root for a team that I want to root for and go with the Jags.
Yeah, I hear you. It's gonna be a good game. A lot of people see the Jaguars are fool's gold too, for a while, but I think they proved it and how they're putting up 33 points in the last 7 games. Trevor Lawrence, he's turning the corner here, but also Travis Etienne has over 1,000 yards rushing. He's gonna get it within the game, but I think he went over 1,000 last week, so he's looking good as well. So give us Jaguars plus 3 points in a good game. Now, let's talk about one of the toilet bowl games of the week. We have the Falcons versus the lonely Cardinals, and the Falcons be favored by 3 points, and the over/under is 48.5. Atlanta, good win. Kirk Cousins is actually looking better in the last the games he started. He's getting better and better. Obviously, he's probably shaking off that rust. Now they're 2-2 in their last 4 games. But, good win against the Buccaneers. They won it by 1 point. They didn't give up. That's good to see. As Adam told you guys earlier, Kyle Pitts, he's been stepping up as well. Since Drake London is the number one, since he's been out, he's their weapon. He stepped up, and that's good to see. Drake London was limited practice on this Thursday, so keep that in mind. Also, Kyle Pitts is limited, but I'm sure he'll play, so keep that in mind as well. So good for him. Kirk Cousins, like I said, the guy's been stepping it up every single game. He has 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions with a completion rating of almost 63%. You want to see that at least 65. But hey, good for him. But as always, this goes as much as BJ Robinson could take him. He's probably going to go over 300 carries. He's at 234 now. I expect him to get 20, 40, 60. So, over 20. So let's think about 25 carries. He's going to have over 1,200 yards rushing. He has 1,174 right now. 6 touchdowns rushing. So the guy is the all-around player. He has 9, and he also has 2 touchdowns receiving. Yeah. He's going to have probably 2,000, possibly 2,000 yards altogether receiving and running, because he almost has 700 yards receiving. So he will take him as far as he could take him. This is Pitt's best year yet. He has at 800 yards receiving right now, and he might get to 1,000. We'll see if Drake London comes back. Defense is something left be desire. You can rush all over this team, but they will blitz, blitz, blitz. So that's what you have to keep an eye out if you are Jacoby Brissett. Now, let's talk about the Cardinals. I mean, yeah, like I said, we said this before, guys, they were in a lot of games. But now I feel like the facade is dropping. They're 2-2 against the spread in the last games, but the last 2 games they've had 85 points pit against them. So their defense is falling apart. It's no longer good. Gannon, I'm pretty sure, is going to be fired at the end of the year, so he's gone. Kyle Murray's going to be gone. Look at do they have things to look like? Oh yeah, like hey, do they have things to look on? Yeah, sure. Brissett has been playing better than average. Michael Wilson has turned into be a great wide receiver for this team, and if they could just get a quarterback that's like this in the same vein as Brissett, but better than him in the draft or in free agency, Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. would be actually a great combo. But that's for next year, okay? This defense is garbage. They're using Michael Carter and the other running back. I can't pronounce his name. Edema Cardo as the the two-headed running back in the running back room. McBride's a beast. He's gonna kill it. So you know all that. So Adam, man, I'll let you take this one. I think it comes down to is like, you trust Kirk Cousins getting to his weapons and putting enough points against the crappy Arizona defense, and I mean, dude, this is what it is. This is basically percent and Kirk Cousins. Who do you think is going to bring their better game? And that's probably going to be the difference.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins played well last week. I'm going to go with the Falcons. The Cardinals still have a beat-up O-line. Paris Johnson Jr. is still out. Brissett has been playing well, but I just don't think the Cardinals have the firepower to stick with the Falcons if the Falcons are going to play well like they did last week.
Yeah, I think B.J. Robinson's going to tear them apart, and I think give me over his prop rushing yards and anytime touchdown. That might a little small, nice parlay there for you. But yeah, I'm also going to take the Falcons. I mean, what can you do? I think Arizona is ready to pack it in. Gannon's going to get fired. I'm surprised he's not let go yet. But this defense is falling apart. And as I just told you, the Falcons like to blitz a lot. And the starting tackle is gone for Cardinals. So give me Adams, the Falcons. Now, let's go to the biggest spread of the week. We have the Vegas Raiders versus the Houston Texans. God almighty, Adam, this could be a bloodbath, even more than the Eagles' bloodbath. Look, Vegas has got awful people. I mean, if I am the Raiders, I am going to try to pit somebody up besides Pickett. Why is he playing? Pickett is a third stringer in this league. He just is. I mean, now look I'm being a little harsh, but like for the Eagles, we traded him because Tanner McKee, our backup, was better than him, and Pickett was basically the third guy there. So I don't know why they just like, hey, Kenny Pickett ain't the guy either. I like Aiden O'Connell. Why not throw Aiden O'Connell? Now, I know Aiden O'Connell's not the best, but go look at Aiden O'Connell's number. He is not that bad of a quarterback. I think he's a better backup than Kenny Pickett. I do not know why they don't start him. His career stats, Aiden O'Connell, is 20 touchdowns, 11 receptions for almost 4,000 yards passing. That guy is not that bad of a quarterback. I have no idea why they do not put him. He would have a better chance winning games than small hands Kenny Pickett. Okay, that's why the guy wears double gloves. So I do not understand it. Offensive line is garbage. That's why Genty can't do crap, as we said this multiple times. That's why Kenny Pickett can't do crap either. And hey, folks, that's not good because you're going against the Houston Texans, the number one defense in the league. These guys eat bad quarterbacks, eat bad offense lines for lunch. It's unbelievable. CJ Stroud's looking really great. He's step up. Nico Collins, another 1,000-yard season. Woody Marks looks decent, not bad. Whatever. This defense is going to eat up this Las Vegas team. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a second shutout. Now, if they start eating O'Connell, I might feel a little better, but I don't think so either. The Vegas Raiders will be lucky to put any points up again. So give me the Texans plus to cover the 14.5.
Yeah, me too. I have the Texans in our fantasy football league this week, and I hope they are like my top scorer. So.
God, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, I don't know why they have Kenny Pickett. Maybe because they feel like they got to maybe because they traded a fifth rounder to the Eagles, and maybe like, hey, we got to keep him because be this trade pick. No, Aiden O'Connell's better than Kenny Pickett. Go pick apples somewhere or something, dude, or go be a commentator. You probably be a good commentator, but you're not a quarterback, a good one in this league. If you want any chance, Raiders, write to the owner.
They
Or
don't.
to your, yeah, exactly.
They don't.
Well,
They want the top pick, Mark. It's over.
yeah, God knows they need it. All right, so now let's go to a game that I'm surprised by the number, to be honest with you. And so we have the Steelers versus the Lions, with the Lions being favored by 7 points and the over/under 51.5. I say surprised because I thought the Steelers have been putting up a good fight the last 2 weeks. They beat the Ravens, they beat the Dolphins. And they beat the Dolphins by almost two scores, not by two scores, but yeah, man. I've been a Steelers hater all year long. I do not trust them. I do not like them. They are the worst, one of the worst rushing teams in the league. As I repeated this over and over again, Aaron Rodgers having a good year, not a bad year, and all that jazz. I don't know if TJ Watt's going to play this game. I know he didn't practice. I would say he shouldn't, because that lung thing was no joke. So I think they should, wait till that, because I think he had a collapsed lung. So, because some dry needling thing, whatever the hell that is, your wife would know. But God,
I've had it done. It's almost like acupuncture, where it like goes into the muscle, and I've had it where they electrify it, so it just like relaxes your muscles. But I think in certain places it can go through and touch the lung, and then it collapses the lung. So
it almost killed the guy.
I know, but I guess I asked my wife. She said it happens.
They happened to an Eagles player. He got put on the IR because of something like that, because a knee on his back. Yeah. So that's something. Well, God bless him. So he's not gonna play this game. I think they should let him sit it out, because that's something a little scary to collapse the lung. Jabbar Peppers, the other safety, is questionable. There's that. I don't like this offense. I know what's his name stepped up for Warren. Kenneth Gainwell had a good game last week, but it's DK Metcalf or pretty much nothing. Is Adam Thielen even getting any play with them? Probably not. So I don't know, dude. I still believe, just because the division's pretty crappy, I still believe that everybody in this division is fool's gold to me, and I'm not a Steelers believer. I know they might have motivation because they got to keep ahead of the Ravens because they're only one game behind, but I don't like them. I just don't.
I don't either. It's a very boring offense. They have DK Metcalf that has to throw corners and safeties to the ground to score touchdowns, and then a 300-pound tight end. That's their offense. And Rodgers is playing well, but the team's not going anywhere.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, he's playing decently. He has I just want to look at his regular season: 22 touchdowns, 7 receptions. Which Aaron Rodgers, he's never been a high pick kind of guy. So I still just don't think that says much because he's 22-7. Good year, but I still don't like what you're getting from him. Lions, okay. Well, when you finally think the Lions are turning it around, and they did have a valiant fight against the Rams, but they did lose. They do get 40 points dropped on them. In the last, this is including the last 4 weeks. Okay, they let the Giants pit 27, they let the Packers pit 31, they let the Cowboys pit 30, and they pit the Rams pit 34. That's probably an average of 30 points the defense is allowing the last 4 games. I was right around that number, 30 points. So I'm sorry, that is not good. You let the Giants put 27 on you in Detroit. So their defense is not good. Branch is gone for the year. They have 2 guys who can get after the quarterback. As with, at least at this, the Steelers have nothing really great going for them. Nothing really elite. But what the Lions got going for them is their elite offense. Brown, guy's going to get 1,200 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if J-Mo might be close to 1,000 yards either. But Jameer Gibbs, the guy's over, has like 1,100 yards rushing. He has 13 touchdowns just rushing. That's not including his receiving stats. So it's just astronomical. Like I said, you can argue he's a top 3 running back. You argue he's the best running back in the league. That's debatable. But just because I'm taking the Lions to cover the 7 points, literally because they have one elite side of their ball handling, and the Pittsburgh have nothing that's elite. And I think they'll expose this Pittsburgh's defense, which I don't think they're going to be able to get to golf either, because TJ Watt, he's gone. Just Higsmith. Are you going to just help Higsmith gets there? I know they got other guys, but come on, let's be real. Give me the Lions to cover the 7 points.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. The Lions do have an elite offense still, and they don't take games off. They play hard, and I think they'll run the score up.
Right. I'm not. I think it's more of the Steelers being so like. What do you like? Like when you watch them, it's like ugh. Like this is your offense, and it's like dink and dunking all day, and hoping, like you said, DK Metcalf plays Superman. So no, thank you. So with that, let's get to our Sunday night game. We have the Pats versus the Ravens. Pretty decent game here. With the Baltimore Ravens favored by 3 points, and the over/under is 48.5. Don't get it. It actually opened at 2. It actually opened at 2.5, and people are betting it, so it actually went to 3.5. Oh, went to 3. So that means bettors even it's been going high on that. I don't understand, people. Did they lose the Bills? Sure, but like. The Ravens are, I don't know, some people put their trust in them. I haven't seen anywhere where there's any significant injuries. As I'm looking right now, Harold Landry did not practice. Marcus Jones didn't practice. Okay, so a lot of their defense did not practice. A lot of the starters. But this was based on Wednesday. But come on, like I don't know if that means that the Ravens, who've been so inconsistent and their offense is in flux. I don't know. So the Patriots coming off a loss to the Bills. Now, as I said, guys, that was a back and forth game. The Patriots looked like they were up 24-7 in the first half. I would think everybody in there were like, hey, they got it. Bills put up 28 points in the second half and held the Patriots only 7 points in the second half. And they win a game. So it's a good win. And it looks like the Patriots could have had it in the bag. I believe at one point, if I check here real quick, at one point, they were favored by 90%, over 90% to win the game at one point. So Drake didn't have the best showing, and maybe that's worrisome for the bettors. No touchdowns, only 150 yards passing, and 1 interception. The game wasn't the best weather-wise as well, so I know that there's that. Henderson had almost 150 yards rushing, so that's what you like to see, because him and Stevenson, I think they could be a good duo. But I don't get it. Now, I get this. The Pats defense is ass. I've been telling you guys that the last few weeks, it is. It used to be the rush defense is like the one thing to hold their hat on, but the rush defense has been from number 1 to number 2. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's reaching out to 3 out of top 5. Back-to-back 100 game, people rushing over 100 yards on them, back-to-back games. So, but then their secondary, I don't care if Gonzalez is back there, you can still pass on them, okay? Now, the thing is, do you trust the Ravens offense to get the ball there? Because Bateman's on the IR. It's just Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, and God knows who else they got on that team, and Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson is using his legs more, which is that that's the recipe for him to be successful. Like, they have to use the legs. Like, it's the only way they can where you have to worry about Henry and him. But still, I'm not confident against the Bengals. Lamar Jackson only threw for 150 yards. He had 1 interception. It was Derrick Henry on 11 carries, got only 100 yards. Now it was only 11 carries because the defense was doing well. Jamar Chase still lit him up for 132 yards of receiving. So I don't know why this number's at 3. The offense is still up and down, mostly down for the Ravens. Their defense is, it's okay. I know they held the Bengals to 0 points and 2 interceptions, so that's something to lay your hat on. But before that, before the Bengals, they lost the Steelers. Steelers put 27, and the Bengals, they beat them before that, and they dropped 32 on them. So I don't understand this number 3. I don't. I feel like it's a sucker bet. Like they want you to take the Patriots plus the 3 points, and that's what I'm worried about. But how can you trust this Ravens offense? I don't trust it whatsoever. I don't really trust their defense either. I don't know how they held the Bengals to 0 points. Bad night from, I'm guessing, Joe Burrow. But man, what do you think? I'll let you take this one. Do you think Drake May does enough with his legs as well? Because I think he's gonna have to do that. And do you think they can? I mean, they say it's 48.5 points. Might be a shootout. Do you trust this number? Who do you like?
The number makes no sense. I'm going Patriots. I'm not overthinking it. I don't know if they have some supercomputer running matchups, and this is just like
Yeah.
we don't know football or what. But I mean, the Patriots were a victim to a MVP caliber or MVP quarterback like dominant win by the Bills. They're still a top 5 team. I just don't see the Ravens winning this one.
Yeah, and if they make if the rush defense steps up like it's been doing for a majority of the year, they'll make they make them a passing attack team. The Ravens, that's not their game. That's not their Blaine and Bird. Like I said, they're not doing that great. And I don't. And the only thing I worry about is that May has been sacked a little too much for my liking. 43 sacks he's been sacked, so that is something to worry about. And he's gonna have to use his leg. He has 362 yards rushing, like I said, but they need the running game to go going. They need Stevenson and Hendrickson to go, and then he gives the play action for Diggs, for Henry, for Butte. So man, I'm gonna take the 3 points too. I don't get it. I think Drake Monet does enough with his legs to keep it going and to keep the game tight enough. And the 3 points. I was hoping 3.5. I would love to take this, but not 3. I mean, no, I'm taking 3, but for sure. But I'd be more confident if it had the hook. Now let's get to our Monday Night Football game. I don't know why another game that's not flexed. I don't think it flexed Monday night games, but so we got the 49ers versus the Colts. Old Man Rivers is back. 49ers being fair by 5.5 points, and the over-under's 46.5. 49ers coming off a good blowout win against the Cardinals. The Titans, sorry. As I said, that's what I had. A little worrisome because the Titans did hit 24 points on them. But as everybody knows, it's the more the defensive coordinators coaching that's keeping them. Robert Saleh, his coaching, which his defense is depleted with injuries because they didn't sack Cam Ward once, and Cam Ward's offensive line is not good, so that's not good to see. Now, Cam Ward is more mobile than Phillip Rivers, but the Colts have one of the best offensive lines in the league, so they might be able to keep him upright. This one's tough, dude. We know all the weapons in San Francisco. They're a bit more healthy, even though Ayuk is pretty much gone. He's probably not going to show up from them. And Debo is long gone since last year. McCarthy, Jennings, and the tight end Kittle. Nice combo there, those 3 guys. Have I repeated this multiple times? It runs through McCarthy. He does everything, passing, rushing. Purdy had a good game. He's 23 for 30 for 3 touchdowns, no turnovers against the Tennessee Titans, but that's the Titans. I don't like their defense let that many points go, and I definitely don't like they couldn't sack the quarterback with that awful offensive line. And the Colts, like it. They defense, okay, it's not that bad. It's Phillip Rivers, folks. I don't know what he's going to be able to do for this game. I don't like the praising him like, oh, he didn't do too bad, like blah blah blah. I mean, nothing significant he was throwing to. They got some weapons. Jonathan Taylor's gonna have to do great, do well in this team, and that's all right because the rush defense is not so good for San Francisco 49ers. But it's the Colts. Their defense, they're 6-1 at home. That's something. So they play better at home. So that's really great. And I just want to make sure here, real quick, I'm doing this in real time here. I want to look at the injury report for the Colts. Okay. So Sauce Gardner did not practice today. So he is still hurt for this game for this calf injury. So he is still out. All right, Adam. I'll let you take this one. They played valiantly against the Seahawks. When everybody and the mother had the Seahawks to cover that game, and they covered and they almost won the game outright. Do you think the Colts, they got to keep it up? They have to if they want to get the last wild card spot because they're not going to probably win the division. I think that's going to be the Jaguars, the Texans, but they could still have an outshot. They're 8-6. They're only lost one game home. Do you think they could do enough plus the 5.5, or do you think 49ers are going to keep rolling and cover this number?
This one's really hard for me, but I'm going to go with the Colts. I think we both thought Phillip Rivers was going to be absolutely murdered last week. He played good enough. I don't think he was like a valiant or didn't play great, but compared to what we thought he was going to do, I think he exceeded expectations, which were basement level low. But yeah, I just think the Colts can do it. I don't like this game at all, though.
Yeah, I'm taking San Francisco just that I think Kyle Shanahan, I think he's a better offensive-minded coach to not like what the Seahawks did. The Seahawks, you're wondering why you're not scoring. Like, what is? I think he could scheme better than McDonald or than the offensive coordinator from the Seahawks. I think he can put them in good situations, and I think they win and cover this game. And I think they should do it very well. I mean, is it handsomely? Is what they say? Handily, yeah, or something like that. I'm mixing my words, folks. Give me the Niners, cover the 5.5, and give Atom to plus the 5.5 with the Colts. All right, guys, it is time for our best bets. Week 16. Well, I'll put my bet. We'll put our best bets record right here in the bottom. So, Adam, I'll go first. Get into the wire. A lot of good games here. The first one I like Detroit to cover the 7 points against the Steelers. I mean, like I said, I don't like the Steelers' offense. I really don't like the Detroit's defense, but I think Detroit's going to score just game busters against the Steelers' defense. I think it's in out of the cold in Detroit in the dome. I think that's where they're going to exceed and go game busters against the Steelers' defense. So give me the Lions to cover the 7 points. And then I like the over in the Buccaneers and Panthers game over the 45.5. Buccaneers defense is leaking like a sieve. It's god awful. I think the Buccaneers offense is gonna have to be their defense, and I think they're gonna go against a terrible team like the Panthers, who are terrible against wide receiver ones. I think they go over this number easily. So give me 45, the over in the Buccaneers and Panthers game. And in my final game, just like the Eagles, when Adam took the Eagles over against the Raiders, I just don't know how Kenny Pickett is going to do anything against this Texans defense. I don't see it happening. I could see them losing this game by 20 points, 27 points. So give me the Texans to cover the 14.5.
Nice. Yeah, I think this is the first week with no overlap.
I thought you took the Texans.
I know I wanted to, but it's just, I don't know. It's 14 points is too much for me, but I think that's a safe bet. For a best bet, obviously I picked them to cover, but anyway. For mine, I'm starting out with the Packers. We're better than the Bears. We always will be better than the Bears. No, I think our offense is just better than their offense, and our defense is better than their defense. So that makes it easy. Second one, I want the Vikings. I like what I saw last week, and the Giants are terrible. So I think we're going to be grittying on the Giants again this week with JJ McCarthy.
Oh, wow.
And then the last one.
I was thinking about taking the under then. That game was my best bet, actually.
I could see that. But their defense has been playing well. And then for the last one, I want the Falcons over the Cardinals. They played well last week, and I don't want to just be look at what happened last week, but the Cardinals are beat up and the Falcons are playing pretty well, so I think they can control that game and cover the 3.
Yeah, that's another game I was debating too. So I was teetering playing those games. So a lot of good best bets, man. I know about the Packer one. That game is going to be, I think, close to the wire, man.
It will.
But hey,
it will.
If they win by a field goal, they win by a field goal and you cover. So there you go. But there you go, guys. Best bets and week 16 picks are in. We love doing this. Like and subscribe. It goes a long way. for this small channel. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, so it would go a long way, as I just said. But guys, a lot of things are going to be said after this week. Or the Eagles can make the playoffs. There's a lot of people can win the wild card after this 1 week. So pay attention. Bet responsible, and as usually, don't bet those parlays. And if you're doing it, just do it for fun. So with that, guys, we will see you in week 17. Hopefully with an Eagles win. Hopefully a Packers loss. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll talk to you guys later. And as usual, we'll see you in the next one.